However, on the pro side, one of the pros is that all of the cleaning that is necessary is very readily accessible to us. We don't have to do some of the shenanigans that Mr. Geraldo has to pull right now to clean the boiler at the greenhouse. We don't have to do that on these boilers. They actually have little slide-out shelves. You just go along the side, pull it out, clean it, and put it back in. You're not having to fall onto the concrete from 8 feet high, and you're not having to worry about stack fires because the creosote level is very low. The first thing on my pro list was that it's non-allergenic. That was very important to me because of my allergy issues. And I'd like to ask whoever has number 3 to come up and read that, because this makes a very good point about the allergy issue. Clean.
My father bought an Echelon 180 for our family homestead in Fort Kent, Maine around 1982. The serial number is 013. Our old homestead was built by my father around 1893. It's a big old house, about 4,000 square feet, in northernmost Maine. The Echelon has heated the place reliably ever since it was installed. It has an oil gun attached that covers our heating needs when we are away, or at times that we choose not to burn wood. Dad bought the system because our house has an unlined 100-year-old chimney running up through the center of the house. Replacing the chimney to accommodate a conventional system would have been prohibitively expensive and disruptive. He needed a wood-burning unit that had very low stack temperatures with very little creosote, so that the old chimney could take it. This unit does the trick. The pipes running to the chimney run relatively cool when burning wood, cooler than when we burn oil. I can place my hand on the pipes when burning wood, but not when we are burning oil. It produces very little creosote in the chimney. Over the past 26 years or so, the boiler has saved our family tens of thousands of dollars. I suppose we're on borrowed time right now because of the fact that it is a carbon steel vessel, but the thing still burns reliably and efficiently. David Susie, Fort Kent, Maine, May 2008.
Thank you. So the point that's brought out here is that the chimney is old, it's unlined. They needed something that didn't have a creosote issue. So what did they use but one of these boilers? And anyone who has allergies knows one of the main reasons you have it is because of that creosote. So this would take care of that problem. Not only that, but it would no longer have to be in the house. The boiler of the size I'm looking at would be something we would install out of doors. So that takes all that smoke pollution out of doors. And these boilers also do not have the smoke coming out of the stovepipe. What comes out of the stovepipe is actually steam. So all of that is removed. It's no longer an issue. The other thing I want to point out from this testimony is that he spoke about his boiler having a carbon steel lining. And that is no longer the case. They no longer sell these boilers with a carbon steel because they know that that is not as good of a metal as another. They now use stainless steel. So that is something they have worked on over the years and improved. And the next thing is it includes domestic hot water coil, which means that I no longer have to use propane. It burns a third of the wood of barrel stoves and at a much cheaper price. And when I was thinking about our lamb's quarters back here, which we now is a huge building that we have only 4 children in, and we use propane all year long, that is a great extravagance on our behalf. And this could take care of that issue. I'd like to ask whoever has number 6 to come up and read that.
I operate a 20,000 square foot greenhouse year-round for the production of cut flowers. We live in Vernon, BC, Canada, and winters get down to minus 30 degrees Celsius. When natural gas prices reached $10 gigajoule 3 years ago, our heating costs doubled. We spent a lot of time researching coal as an alternate heating fuel. However, after visiting several greenhouses, I wasn't convinced coal was the best option. Coal is very dirty to handle. Every yard I visited was covered with a thin layer of coal dust. It was recommended to me to look into sawdust. As a result of some internet searching, we discovered alternate heating systems in Pennsylvania. We wound up installing an E1000 wood gun in October 2004. As with anything unfamiliar, there was a learning curve and maintenance regime that needed to be developed. This past winter, 06-07, the boiler performed excellently. Fuel costs for sawdust run $30 per bone-dry ton delivered. Natural gas is around $10.50 per gigajoule delivered. This translates to savings of 80%. That's right. I can honestly say, not including my time for maintenance, that I'm saving 80%. $1,250 per month for sawdust versus $6,500 for natural gas. Joe Allen, Cottonwood Ranch Limited, July 2000, and that's from BC, Vernon, BC, Canada.
So this is a gentleman who is living at temperatures the same that we experience in the winter. And if you consider his savings and his 20,000 square foot greenhouse, and we think about our lamb's quarters, this could be a great savings for us as well. The next thing I want to bring out was that this boiler rather, can burn pellets, sawdust, or logs, which is a great help also when you're considering that we have 2 houses without people available to stack wood. We're constantly relying on others to help us. So we could bring in sawdust. It would not have to be stacked with an automatic feed system. It saves us time. But it also can burn wood, and it can also burn pellets. I'd like to ask whoever has testimony number 7 to come up and read what they have.
We took delivery of an E140 wood boiler in December 2006. We heat our 2,400 square foot house and get all our hot water from the boiler. We live in an area that is predominantly pine and white birch. Our neighbors warned us of the problems with burning pine wood. We have found that the wood gun burns it all cleanly with very little residue. We only need 2 charges of this poor wood per day in the coldest 10 Fahrenheit weather, and much less when it is warmer. The installer measured the efficiency of the boiler at over 80%, which is phenomenal for a wood-burning appliance. Our last oil delivery in February was a mere 13 gallons. Thanks for helping us think out of the box, pun intended. Andrew and Patty Smelly, Candia, New Hampshire, April 2007. We are a hardwood lumber dealer in Maine and have been using an E250 wood gun for 8 years now. We have been very happy with the service it provides. We burn all our wood scraps and paper scraps. It will burn wood no matter how big or small, dry or green. We have also been very pleased with the technical assistance and parts availabilities that Jeff has provided for us over the years. I am so pleased with the performance of the boiler that I am taking out the boiler in my home and putting in a wood gun. Richard Simon, America's Wood Company, August 2003.
So thank you, Jessica. These are both 2 testimonies that this wood gun stove boiler will burn any kind of wood, even wood that is hard for us to burn in our barrel stoves. It will burn, which is very good to know. And as one of the testimonies referenced, they also provide a backup of oil or coal heating or propane. And that would be important for people who are leaving and you need your house to keep going. What if something happens, or what if you're at work and you don't know that your wood supply ran out and so your automatic feed system isn't working? Are you going to come home to a frozen house? Well, no, because this backup system will immediately go into action, and when you come home you can switch it back off and go back to your primary wood source of heat.